Welcome back, everybody, to the Nosebleed Sports Podcast. I am Chris Witt, and with me, as always, is Mr. Adam Schmidt. Adam, how are you today, sir?
Really, really good. How about yourself?
Buddy, I tell you what, if I was any better, I'd be you.
Okay.
Adam, we're gonna start off this podcast. We've got a lot going on, man. This is not a sports podcast anymore, unless we want it to be on the days we want it to be. And today's got a lot of sports in it.
That's right.
So if you're listening to the podcast this week, you're going to get some baseball. It's the playoffs, baseball playoffs, Major League Baseball. We'll talk a little ALCS, a little NLDS, which is 5-game series is just weird to me still. I get it with the way they got to make this thing move a little quicker, and they're giving more teams opportunities. But figure all that out, and we'll talk a little bit about that. We've got some trivia or something like that, I believe, that I might have to get into. Some questions and answers, and then not really a dearly departed, but somewhat kind of dearly retired, maybe.
Dearly retired.
Thankfully retired.
Really quick dearly departed that we didn't talk about last week. How about Tim Wakefield?
Oh, yeah, that's very true. I forgot about that.
Maybe the best knuckleballer ever.
I don't know about the best, but maybe the most successful in any out of anyone after 1980.
That's fair.
All right, Charlie Huff was not very successful. He was just an old man. But Tim Wakefield was a legit go-to starting pitcher for a World Series esque team. Mm-hmm. So that is a very sad deal. That was during the time when I was a huge Red Sox fan, big Tim Wakefield guy.
Anybody that throws a knuckleball is just so fun it's just so fun to watch that thing in slow motion.
Oh, to see that thing dance from behind the catcher. When you see a catcher, when the catchers have the camera inside their mask and they're catching a knuckleballer, that is so cool. We used to have a guy that pitched for the Reds. What was his name? He threw knuckleballs back in the mid-90s. He was decent. But the catcher, I think it was back when Benito Santiago was catching for the Reds, like in the early 90s. Or mid-90s? Mid-90s.
Yeah.
Early to mid. I shouldn't say early. It's probably 94, 95. That seems about right. 96 maybe.
Yeah.
Anyway, I remember him running off and getting a new glove when they took the pitcher out because the guy at one point he had both gloves in his hands, and it was like, oh my God, that's a 60-inch catcher's mitt, and he's putting on a 28-inch catcher's mitt. Like, it's the biggest daggone glove I've ever seen in my life. But they had some monster catcher's mitts so they could catch those daggone knuckleballs because they are dancing, my friend.
I mean, with a 60-inch catcher's mitt, why doesn't everybody just use one of those? Because
you can't get the ball.
You frame everything.
Yeah, but you can't get the ball out of it. If everybody's gonna steal on you. You can't find the ball. You'd be digging for an hour in that thing.
Yeah.
60-inch catcher's mitt.
Anyway, Tim Wakefield, RIP. But anyway, but we wanted to. You were going into something, and I interrupted you.
No, that was everything. Let's get this thing kicked off the way we always do with one of our favorite sponsors, Reese's. Adam has just become the guy that gets Reese's now. What do we have today, my friend?
I'm also throwing down in the kitchen lately.
I was just gonna say, are you becoming a baker, my man?
I'll tell you what. So here's the box for you. It's brownie mix. So I feel like people are in the comments are gonna say using brownie mix doesn't count.
Who makes brownies without brownie mix?
I don't know. Can you? I
man, what are you gonna like ground up cocoa or something? Nah, man.
You can buy Coke. I don't know. Anyway,
man, ain't nobody making brownies without brownie mix.
I had to add ingredients to it. So to me,
you made it from scratch, bro.
That's
from scratch, homie.
That's how I feel.
It was powder, eggs, oil, right?
And water.
There you go, man.
That's right.
Yeah, I know how to make my brownies. I know how to make my brownies now.
This is my first time making brownies.
Really?
My first time making brownies. My first time baking anything on my own without help.
Wait a minute. You needed people to help you with the cookies?
No,
Oh no, that was
those
pull
were
and bake,
break and
right?
bake.
Break
Yeah,
and
yeah.
bake. So I will tell you. Okay, I got. Oh yes, dude. These are looking moist.
Uh,
Oh my
hopefully,
god.
I mean, I did the test and everything. It looks like they should be
Oh
done
my
and
god.
not
Those look
burnt.
so good.
So
So here's what we got. We have Adam Crocker. Well, I'm sorry, Betty Crocker. Reese's brownie mix. These are made with Reese's peanut butter chips.
that's right.
These look phenomenal. I'm super stoked about this.
You should have seen them in the pan. When I pulled them out of the oven, I'm like, "Oh, those look professional."
Dude, I guarantee it.
They
Did you take
got
a picture?
Uh,
It's not easy to cut.
yes,
It's not easy to cut.
It's on Snapchat though, so hurry up within 24 hours of my snap. Get on there. Yeah, but they got a little messed up when I had to try to get them out of the pan.
All good. You'll get that figured out. It's your first time, man. It's your first time.
I cut them.
You can't use a big old fat wooden spoon to get them out of there. You're gonna need something like a spatula type object.
I went before I made these. I went to the store. I bought a new spatula. I bought a whisk to mix the whole thing.
Wow.
I bought a 3-pack of mixing bowls.
Yeah.
I almost bought one of those electric mixers with the egg beater things on it. I was like, am I gonna spend $40 on that? And this is the only time I'll ever use it.
I use it all the time. I love it. But I love I don't make them nearly as much as I used to, but Aaron does now. I love making brownies.
Yeah. It wasn't
brownies staple dessert at the Witt household as a child. Staple.
Nice.
All right.
So your first thoughts.
I'm going to tell you this: the peanut butter chips are delicious. They're not overpowering at all. I'd be okay if they're a little more overpowering, to be honest with you. However, that being said, this is a delicious fudge brownie, not cake. I'm glad they're not cake brownies. I'm not a cake brownie guy. And this is easy for me. This is a 9-9.
Wow.
Oh yeah. I mean, brownies are if it's a brownie, but that's as good as anything right there.
If it's brown, send it down the gullet.
That's right. The gullet. My sister's name.
Yeah. 9-9 for you. I'm the same here. So I'm not necessarily 9-9 same, but I don't taste much of the peanut butter.
That's gonna be a good bite right there.
Yeah, it is.
It's a lot of peanut butter.
All right. Yeah. Let me know how that is, because first couple bites, I could see a peanut butter chip. Don't taste it much at all. But it's a delicious brownie. Good for Betty Crocker.
Betty has taught you well, my friend. Betty has taught you well.
She gave me the right brownie mix.
She did a hell of a job.
I'm gonna go. This isn't necessary. It doesn't even seem like Reese's because there's not nearly enough of the peanut butter to make it seem like peanut butter and chocolate.
There's not. However, I'm not grading this off the peanut butter scale.
Yeah.
This is just off the deliciousness scale.
In that case, I'm going 9-8.
Yeah. There's no doubt. I mean,
really good.
Holy cow. Betty Crocker brownie mix, Reese's brownie mix with Reese's peanut butter chips.
Yeah. Excellent.
Let me ask you a question, Adam.
Yeah, please do.
When you were younger, did you collect box tops for school?
I don't think so.
They still do that.
Yeah.
Imagine that. Now you download an app and scan it.
Yeah.
Unreal, man.
No, I don't remember collecting box tops. I don't remember doing really much of any collecting of anything.
No, I want a bike. I want a 10-speed bike.
No kidding.
Yep.
I mean, we sold the world's finest chocolate bars, but that was
I don't even remember doing that. Our football team. No, was it football? It was just school. This was just school. Sold some kind of McDonald's coupon at Dominic. I only remember doing it one year. It was 3rd or 4th grade because I was playing football, and I only played football for 4 years. So it was 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th. But this was with when I was in Pony, as they call it, because I thought it was the coolest thing in the world that I got a nickname. And the coach was calling me Nitwit. And I came home and told my mom and dad that my nickname was Nitwit. And they were not happy at all. I mean, 0 on the happy scale about that. But,
it was 90s football coach.
Exactly. Unlike now, they could say that and mom and dad would just be mad for a little bit and then it was over. And, I think they told me to go there and just tell him that that's not what you want your nickname to be. Mm-hmm. And I think I did that. Now I need to tell somebody, I need to tell on you and tell your boss and his boss's boss. And
we got to go
the organization, superintendent,
that got to go social media.
That the 4th grade football coach called my son Nitwit when his last name is Wit. I mean, it's just natural to come out like
it's a play on words.
I probably screwed a play up. I was the first year playing football. I probably screwed something up.
Sure.
And they're like, I'm calling you Nitwit.
4th grade anyway or whatever.
Yeah. So anyway, we're selling these little I can't remember what they were.
McDonald's coupons.
Yeah, I don't know what it was for. But anyway,
buy a Big Mac,
it's something like that. Get some fries or something. Dad took them to work, sold a ton. Mom took some, sold a ton. God knows I didn't sell any. There was never a time I ever walked door to door. I think Dad took them to Broken Tire and just, man, they were just going like hotcakes. So I was in it was getting close. They were talking about who was winning in this, right? The whole time. And I was in second place. And so they went out and bought the bike for the guy who was winning or the kid that was winning. So they bought a big 10-speed. This is like a grown man 10-speed bike. I'm in 3rd grade, 2nd or 3rd. Maybe it might have been 2nd grade. Might have been before football. Maybe that was a totally different thing. Anyway, I won this on the last day. I brought in a stack that I just sold, man. I brought in a whole stack, and I was like, put me on the top. Come on, Spa. We used to call her Spa. Sister Patrick Ann Spa. She was the principal. Spa, put me on top. Sure enough, the bike, I get this bike. The bike was taller than I was. I couldn't sit on it for like 4 years.
Still grow into it.
I'm pretty sure it's still at my mom and dad's house. Nice. It was a red 10-speed.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Any kind of a recognizable brand, or was this a sort of?
I don't know anything about brands of bikes. I know what a Mongoose is and a Huffy. Yeah, that's about it.
Dyno?
Oh, I don't know. I had a gray bike with like a bunch of plastic stuff on it, and it was called it wasn't a Raptor, but it was some kind of dinosaur or something. It might have been that. And I took all that stuff off, and I was like, I'll just ride this without the plastic little kid pieces. And yeah, obviously I was a dork. But anyway, yeah. So I don't know how it got to that, but what were we going to talk about?
Right on. I don't know. I was thinking,
box tops.
Box tops.
Man, we were talking about we could go through this fast, and I've already been on the first 5-minute tangent.
Let me go here. So knowing that and beginner's luck for sure, but knowing that maybe I can bake a little bit, maybe I should try a little cooking sometime.
Okay, hold on, because cooking and baking are totally different.
Absolutely.
Can I tell you why you will be a good baker?
Yes. Oh, yes. Because I love the product.
Well, I mean, anything you make with love is already a little better. But
baking, I feel like, is sweets. I think of sweets.
100%.
So that's why I think of
baking is very exact.
Oh.
It's very exact. Measure this, cut, at this amount. You need this amount of this amount of that. If you do too much of this, it won't do this. If you do too little of this, it won't do that. So it's very particular. The time that you put it into the oven, the size of the pan, everything's very particular in baking. And there are some cooks can't bake. And there are some bakers that can't cook. So I think you would be a good baker because I feel like you're very good at following directions. Like if you're going to put something in the oven and it says to put it in there for 15 minutes, you're going to set your timer for 15 minutes, not 1 hour, and just say, "Oh, I'll remember to come back in 15 minutes." That's what I'm saying. Like, "Oh, I think I need a little more butter." No, you're going to put the amount of butter that it tells you to. Or I don't want to use as much butter because I don't want to use butter. Well, now that you just made it taste not nearly as good. So I think you're going to be good at baking, man. I'm excited. You don't need to if you want to get into the cook side of things, go ahead. But I feel like you'd be a terrific baker.
I appreciate that, and I am when I'm into something, I'm very into the details of it.
Yeah.
And yes, you're right. That's what it said. Tape 3 tablespoons. Man, I'm telling you, 3 tablespoons of water went into these brownies.
Yeah, all right, man. I tasted about an eighth of a tablespoon so far of water. It's been delicious.
A third of a cup of that oil, buddy. I'll tell you, I held that thing and let that stuff drip, the residual drip
Oh
into
yeah,
there.
make sure that you got all of it out of that third cup.
Yep, all of it.
Yep, well done. Well done.
So maybe being able to maybe cook, but certainly bake, maybe that that gets me in with the ladies a little bit better.
I
You know
hope
what I'm
so
saying?
because last time we talked, my friend, old boy's getting back into the dating scene.
2-3 weeks ago, I signed back up for all that. I figured, you know what, it's time to maybe go on a few dates.
Is
here
that
and
getting
there.
on the wagon or getting off the wagon?
That's yeah, depends on how you. I mean, I feel like on.
Yeah, you're getting on the wagon.
Sure, on the dating wagon.
Yeah.
So
Jump on the bandwagon.
so I get back on, and I think when you first get on, it's you're a fresh face because people when you're on there those things for a while, you end up seeing the same people over and over. Fresh face. Again, I've been on these things for.
Is this
20
your
years
way?
now.
Is this your way of being humble right now? Are you giving me the humble pie right now? Are you gonna say fresh face? So I got a ton of beeps or clicks or fire stamps or whatever they are.
Not a ton, but more than I normally would if I'm on there for a couple months.
Mm-hmm.
That stuff is I'm getting hardly anything.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, because it's a new person, and you can even sort by who's newest and all that kind of stuff. So yes, I got some attention right away and started talking to a couple of folks and
folks. Didn't know you didn't distinguish one of those
they're all
M for F, M for M for whatever.
It's M for F.
M for T. Okay, M for F.
It's M for F.
All right. I mean, you said folks. I just want to make sure that the listeners know what we're dealing with.
Everybody's folks.
Okay.
Everybody's folks. But yes, in this case, all of the folks that I'm talking about are women.
Okay. All right. That we know. At least that they say they are.
Until I meet them, and then and then maybe I find something out that they weren't telling the truth on.
Yeah, I mean, it could be 3 dates before you find out.
Sure. Sure.
Anyway, sorry.
So anyway,
continue. My bad.
Start talking to a couple folks. So I'm talking to this gal and find out, she's from this certain area, and I'm like, oh, hey, I know a person. I have a friend who's from that area originally and about the same age. Where'd you go to high school?
That's
old
never
Cincinnati question.
That's never good.
It can be bad. It can be good too.
Yeah.
Because it's nice when you find a common person.
Right now you've got a group. Right now it's like, oh, now if she won't feel as awkward bringing me around somebody. Hey, here's so and so. He knows so and so. Boom. Now you've got something. Now everybody in the group can talk.
Just any common ground you find, even just her and I. Just you first meet somebody, you're like, oh, do you know? Yeah, I know him. Oh, yeah. It's a good feeling, right?
Yeah,
you have a common ground with somebody. So anyway,
I feel like if you live in Cincinnati, you can pretty much pull that out.
It's not too hard.
No.
And I was right. It was. She went to the same high school as my friend. And same age. Oh yeah, I graduated with him. I asked her.
Oh, did she say she went to Elder?
No,
she's not my age. Because that's out there. You might have had to turn around. But anyway, go ahead.
Yeah. So no, she did not go to Elder. But that's true. It could be different than it was then.
100%.
I forget what year it is. So
2023, bud.
Yeah. She knows him, right?
Perfect.
Oh, yeah, I don't know how well, but I'm like, yeah, and I haven't talked to him in a while either. He lives in a different country now. But hey, cool. We have a common ground now. So now I'm like, okay, there's, by the way, on these dating apps, there's a fine line, a very fine line between starting the conversation, getting to know somebody, messaging back and forth on these apps, and then waiting too long to decide to ask, do you want to meet in person? And asking too early.
Oh, okay. Jesus Lord. Are you serious?
It's one of many things that is a pain in the butt with these apps. So, but you have to, I mean, and everybody's different, of course. Some girls want to, I want to
Fill
get
it
to
out.
know you for
Yeah,
a little
fill it
while.
out. Fill it out.
Some girls are like, you took too long. I'm on here to date.
Mhm.
We going on a date or not?
Mhm.
And if you don't ask them, they're not even gonna they're not gonna say that. They're just gonna go away,
Yeah.
or they're gonna go on a date with somebody else. So, I
They're
I
gonna Frankenstein you.
yeah, they're gonna Frankenstein you. Yeah, they're gonna some sort of ghost or ghoul. So
Ghoul. That's what I should have said. They're gonna ghoul
they're
you.
gonna ghoul you.
I've been sitting here trying to figure out what word I'm gonna use.
And that's so perfect. So we message a few times and stuff. She's a big Bengals fan, so on Sunday we're messaging a little bit and stuff. But we established, though, I think I might have found a good time to say, hey, we've been talking for 4 or 5 days or whatever. It seemed like okay, you want to meet up? Yeah. Okay. Found a place to meet.
Okay.
Found a time. Found a day.
Okay.
It's all set.
Check.
It's gonna be 5-6 days between the time that we set that and the time that we're meeting. Okay.
Perfect. Okay. Okay.
Maybe about 6. Yeah. So, all right. We talk a couple more days, and then from this was going to be on a Thursday. Monday, I think it was Monday, was the last time. I think I said something about the Bengals looked so bad yesterday or whatever. How you doing with that? Tiny little exchange there. That was it between Monday and Thursday.
Oh, wow.
But we had this established. Didn't seem like anything was wrong. Didn't seem so. And I just foreshadowed there. But so Thursday gets here, right? Thursday morning. And I'm like, I send her a message. Hey, what's up? Just confirming, making sure we're all good. Didn't hear back for a little bit. She's working, middle of the day. She's working. Sure. I'm working. Also, sometimes the apps are goofy and you have a trouble with the app. You have to delete it and re-download it again.
Jeez, well, Pete, who's running these things? It's 2023, man.
Right. Yes. So anyway, sometimes that does happen.
So while you're waiting, how many times did you delete and re-download the app?
I didn't at all.
Oh,
I didn't know because I wasn't having a problem with the app, but she could have been.
I got you.
Didn't hear from her, so I'm checking.
So you text through the app?
Yes, there's a part that you message through the app.
You gotta be kidding me. There's a new way to text again.
So that's another part is when to go from texting on the app to exchanging phone numbers and going to regular text. That's a very critical thing there.
This is
you
so
can't
ridiculous.
ask too early for that, and you can't wait too long for that.
You don't just go up to somebody and be like, "Hey, girl, what's your number?"
People on the internet do. Yeah, if you're on TikTok, you can find that stuff happening all the time. Now, they're very good-looking men that are going up to very good-looking young ladies and doing that. So I don't know how that works for a guy like me. But so
what happened to the world?
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
So we get all the way up to when I have to. It's going to take me 55 minutes to go from where I am to where we're meeting. Okay. Wow. It's in the neighborhood that she lives. Okay. I did that I suggested the place.
Yeah, 100%. I got you.
It's getting darker now. So it's getting dark as I'm leaving and it's raining and it's going to take me 55 minutes.
And she hasn't responded yet.
And I'm checking more and more as the time gets closer to leaving. She hasn't responded yet, but she hasn't said no. She hasn't said I'm not good anymore or whatever. We established the date. I drive out there. Okay. I'm like, look, don't jump to conclusions. I'm a jump to conclusions guy. Don't do it. Whatever. I get there. I check once on my drive out there. All right. Still no response, but I'm going back to the messages that we
make sure that this is the right time a week ago.
So yeah. So I get there. I pull in the lot. I pull in. I check one more time to see if she had messaged me. I go in. She deleted the match. So I'm like, okay, that's funny timing. So that could be, she could be having some issue with the app, or she could have decided that she is no longer going to be going on this date and forgot to tell me.
Yeah. she decided.
So I go
without any communication at all. That's what it sounds like to me, but I'm excited to hear the rest. Did you eat?
I go inside.
Yeah.
Didn't see her waiting in there yet. No problem. It's right at the time we were supposed to meet. People are a few minutes late, right? No big deal. So I'm like, I'm 99% sure she's not showing up.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes. Good. Yes. Okay. So we're on the same page now.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Of course.
Yes.
And so so I go in there and the girl at the stand is like, hey, how many are you gonna have? Or what's I'm like, I'm just waiting on somebody. I'm gonna sit here and wait first. Sitting there. 5-10 minutes goes by. The girl is helping other people coming in and stuff. Every time somebody comes to the door, I'm like, no, that's not it. And again, this is gonna be the first time I see this person in person. I'm like,
can I also tell you how funny it is that you just said, nope, that's not it.
Yeah, that's not the folks. So people are coming in, going by, and everything, and I'm like, yeah, no, it's not gonna happen. Not happening. I'm like, yeah, I'm starting to think. I drove an hour to be here in the rain, in the dark.
Yep.
Oh boy. Okay. So what's gonna happen
You're
here?
complaining about driving in the dark. So, you sound like my grandpa.
I feel like one person. It sucks to drive in the rain and the dark at the same time.
Agreed.
Anyway,
Agreed.
So especially for that long. So I'm in there 15 minutes. I'm like, okay, so this is gonna be embarrassing when I get up and walk out, right? Mm-hmm. The girl is like, is working and stuff.
She's keeping an eye on you though, and
she 5 or 10 minutes in, she looks at me. She's like, "You still waiting? You still good?" Or
she's like, "You've been Ghouled, bruh."
I was like, "I'm good. You want to go on a date though?"
Get off in a minute.
So I even thought about placing a to-go order.
I mean, you got an hour drive, right?
That's right. So I sort of did that, but I'll tell you what I did instead. So I end up choosing to. So the girl is like doing some stuff, and she walks away. I'm like, okay, now's the time. I gotta walk out.
I'm getting out.
So I get out without anybody seeing me, I think, except for the people that were walking out right before I got up.
Yeah,
saw me sitting there, walked out the door. I walked out right behind them.
Nice.
So they probably didn't pay attention, but
they weren't.
In my eyes, they're like,
look at this weirdo. Nah, they weren't paying attention. I got you, bro. They're not paying attention.
Thanks, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
And so anyway, so I go to the car and I'm like, I'm even kind of looking around in the parking lot. Is anybody with blonde hair sitting in their car, just like waiting or looking for me, thinking they're going to see me pull in? They're waiting in the car, maybe. I don't think so. So I got a to-go order for that long drive home, and because I eat my feelings all the time, so I go to I dial up the closest UDF. Yep. I get the giant shake. I'm like, this will comfort me on the way home. So I drank my giant shake on the way home, on the drive home, and that was that. That was my first foray, my first getting back into the dating world.
Yeah.
How about that start?
So I'm going to tell you, I don't know much about all these new fancy apps. However, because of these apps, there's a term called being ghosted. Mm-hmm. So I feel like that's a normal thing.
I got Ghouled, buddy.
You got Ghouled. You got Ghouled, bro.
I got bansheed. I got
yeah. I don't feel like that's not normal though. I feel like that's totally normal. Like I feel like you hear that all the time.
That's the second time it's happened to me in person where I had a date that I showed up for and they didn't.
I love that you still win. I love that you still win. Well, you hadn't talked to her in 4 days.
Here's the thing.
She didn't respond. And yet you were like, I'll drive an hour anyway. Let's just see what happens.
But if she wasn't able to, if she didn't see the message come through and she didn't check it, didn't think about the app, was concerned with other stuff, or was having a problem with the app or whatever, and showed up and I didn't,
then she should have got your number earlier and text you like a normal human being.
Well, maybe, but I mean, that's not, that's not what happened. So
look, here's the deal.
I wanted to make sure I wasn't flaking on the deal.
I got you. You didn't want to be the ghouler.
I didn't want to be the ghouler.
You had no problem being the ghoulie.
I was the ghoulie. I was Ghouled. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I mean, you got a milkshake out of it.
I got a milkshake, buddy. I'll be honest with you.
Had a quarter
get,
tank of
I was
gas.
gonna get that milkshake whether the date happened or not. Okay. I got one the next day too.
You gotta do what you gotta do, man. You gotta do what you gotta do.
So anyway, bummer of a story, but just funny for everybody else. I think that that I went through all that, and it's that's the way.
All right, so here's the deal.
Yeah.
Do we have any more dates set up?
No,
yet?
not right now.
No,
not right now.
Do you have any combos going? Like, is there a possibility at one coming up?
There are a few people in the queue, but I keep looking at their profiles and trying to decide whether I'm interested or not. So
I would say wait for the next one then, because if you are looking in a queue and trying to talk yourself into being interested, but don't even worry about it. I just pass on by.
Most of them are easy
40,
X's.
You're 41 years old now, bud.
Yeah, that's right.
You're 41 years old. You're stuck in your ways. You are who you are. You don't have to go out there trying to, look for whatever comes your way. You're allowed to be a little choosy now.
Yeah, and I am. I'm very
you've
so.
been very choosy for as long as I've known you.
Yes, that's correct. That's correct.
That's not true.
It's gonna
That's
stay
not
that
true.
way.
That is not true. Not for as long as I've known you.
There are moments that you you get a little desperation creeps in, and you're like, you know what? She's not that bad looking. Actually, she's not that bad. Yesterday I said she was a 3. Today she's a 6.5.
Yeah. Oh, 6.5. Good for you, bud. I mean, come on.
No.
Let's be honest. I mean, we're not all out here looking for 10s, right?
Well, at certain times, also, I'm like, you know what? It's 10 time.
Yeah,
I'm out.
Good for you.
Only responding.
That's still confidence. The confidence to say that
I'm 41 and I'm not. Sorry. No.
That was
10.
a laugh and a cough at the same time.
No 10 opportunities here. But anyway, that was just a little story. I was going to say quick story. It was not quick at all.
There's nothing we do quick on this podcast.
No, it's not.
We keep telling ourselves
except for going right into the next thing. Which,
let's go.
Let's talk about. So the American League Championship Series in Major League Baseball is now set. Right?
Okay.
Texas Rangers swept their way to the ALCS, and the Houston Astros are now in the American League Championship Series for the 7th consecutive season.
That's pretty impressive.
Very impressive. That's 90s Braves-esque.
They've been talking about that. That was being talked about
Really?
on the radio today when I was listening to the game. Yeah, they were comparing it to the 90s Braves, and they were talking about how these Astros, like, the regular season almost become boring for them. There are some of these guys that'll totally admit, like, you can see them, the people are talking about, you can see them get locked in when the playoffs come. It's like, oh, geez, that's right. These guys are really good. They're not just good. They're really good.
Yeah. Yep, they are. And they keep just winning. And but the Rangers, on the other hand, saw the other day the biggest adjustment in wins since last year of any team in Major League Baseball. So the most jump from whatever number they were at to this year. Not only did they win the most games above what they did last year, but they're in the ALCS. Number 2 on that list for best improvement in win total, Cincinnati Reds.
Nice. It's good. So here we come.
Here we come.
We're next.
Not in the playoffs yet.
Next year.
The Rangers made it to the ALCS this year.
Yeah, well, we'll make it to the ALCS next year.
Yeah,
I mean, you can't have both of us with that big difference make it. I mean, that would just be too crazy.
Yeah, if the Reds make the ALCS, that would be
insane. Could you imagine if we made the ALCS?
That would be something going on there.
Well done. I'll take that. I'll take that L. I will take that L,
which stands for league in ALCS. Okay, so we've got that one. The NLDS is still going on. You have the Braves and Phillies.
Yes.
Playing each other. National League East teams.
So Phillies took a 2-1 lead today.
Oh.
Speaking of the Braves, another team that feels like they're in the playoffs and are the best team in baseball for the last 5-6 years. So 1-1 today, right? Braves. So Phillies won the first game. Braves won the second. Did you see the whole thing with what's his name? Orlando Arcia. Well, how do you say his first
yeah.
name?
I think you're right.
So Arcia, the shortstop for shortstop, wherever he plays, third, short, plays somewhere over there.
I don't think I've seen this, so I don't know.
So Arcia, he's got to play short. He had to be at short today for the Braves. Where's Acuna Jr. play?
Right.
Right. You're right. Yeah. Always second base. Yeah. Okay. So I'm just trying to talk my way through this. Arcia, shortstop for the Braves. After game 2, when the Braves won, apparently in the locker room, in the clubhouse, with all of the reporters all over the place, is jumping around, laughing, going, ha ha. What was he? He said, how about that, Bryce or Bryce Harper or who's Bryce? I don't, oh man, now I got to look it up. He said something very specific, and it was so bad.
Did they have a history before this?
I don't know. I mean, everybody's got some kind of history with Bryce Harper, don't they?
It seems like it, and they are division rivals. So, and they've both been good for the last few years. So, it would make sense. It would make sense if they had some before this.
All right, so let's see if I can. A lot of these. Here is nope. They just gotta. I mean, it's all the videos, but I want to see exactly what he said. Social media has changed. All right, so while I'm looking at this, he said something in the locker room. It was put all over the place that he was laughing and said, "How about that, Bryce?" or something like that, and I'll figure that out. Bryce Harper hit 2 bombs today. One was an upper deck absolute bomb. I'm talking 450 something. Ooh. It was a upper deck. I mean, he hit it and didn't even move. He just stared at it like he was impressed. He's jogging around the bases. Every time he comes around first, as he's going towards second, he does like this little 3 thing or looks up in the sky. He does it every home run I've seen him. And then he hits second base and he's staring at Arcia. And Arcia is looking down at his glove and he does not stop staring at him. And he, so then he goes around and Arcia never looked at him in the first one. Then he hits another bomb, dead center field, a moonshot that goes over the wall. Does the same thing. And as he's coming around the bases, stares at him again. This time Arcia is looking at him. And there is a picture of Bryce Harper hitting second base, just staring at Arcia. It is one of the greatest things in the world. So my question for you is, how do you feel about this? This is the second home run. How do you feel about the stare down from, here it is, catch here, they'll show it, the stare down of Bryce Harper. There he is. He's just staring at him, of Bryce Harper to Arcia on this. Like, how do you feel about that?
I feel like
you hate Bryce Harper. I already know that.
I don't hate Bryce Harper.
Oh, I thought you didn't like Bryce Harper because of his antics.
No, I mean, I'm sure he's done stuff in the past. Yeah, when he was in Washington that I didn't like. Something like that. You know what? I'm getting desensitized to all that stuff.
Yeah.
I think because it happens constantly, especially in basketball. There's going to be some trash, especially the younger people now. There's any kind of trash talk. It's all about embarrassing the other guy. And that's, maybe it's not even for that, because there was obviously something was going on before that. Bryce must have done or said something for Arcia to specifically call him out after that game. And so whatever happened, and now so I don't know. I mean, it's just,
he was saying, "Attaboy, Harper." That's what he kept jumping around laughing, saying, "Attaboy, Harper," in the clubhouse. And it was written by everyone about.
I wish I knew what that was about. I don't know, man.
He got doubled up to end the game. Oh, sorry, I didn't tell you that. To end game 2, who was it? Castellanos, whoever hits behind, maybe it's Real Muta, whoever hits behind Harper. Harper's on first, and they hit a moonshot, and Harper is on his horse. He's thinking he's going to score, right? And whoever's in center field makes an unbelievable, great jumping back into the wall, crashing into the wall, catches the ball, falls down, turns around, picks up, throws it in. It's cut off by Austin Riley and throws over to the pitcher at first, and they double up Harper at first to end the game. So I think that's where the attaboy Harper came from. Okay, so he's in the clubhouse after they just won. on a play where Harper got too far, thinking that was a hit, and he's hooting and hollering because Bryce Harper made a mistake.
Okay, yeah. In that case,
Now if I'm Bryce Harper and I'm hitting 2 bombs, I'm staring every bit at him.
I don't. I mean, I think it's definitely not necessary to stare at him, but more understandable for sure. I mean,
I might have went by and said, "Attaboy, attaboy."
Yeah, I mean,
I'd have gave him at least one attaboy.
Somebody feel, yeah, everybody feels like they got to do something, but it's you know, we're almost never going to see it anymore. But once in a while, I think we'll still have people that can just take some criticism, take some trash talk, take being embarrassed or being outplayed, and not have to go back at somebody, not have to try to get even, not have to try to save face, and not have to just keep playing, and then try to get the better of them next time, and not have to rub it in, not have to trash talk back, not have to do any of that stuff. When that happens, I am going to praise that person. Since it's not happening, it's just gonna instead of being upset and mad about every time that happens, I can't do that anymore because it happens all the time. It happens too much in sports. So
I don't feel like it's just now though. I mean, Gary Payton is known as being the greatest trash talker of all time.
Yeah, but it was way different then.
Why is it different then than here? He was doing it worse, saying way worse things right to your face.
Because everybody does it now, and it's more. It was trash talk then. It was trying to get in his head. Now it's trying to embarrass the guy. It wasn't about embarrassing the guy. It wasn't about status then. It was about whatever it took to win. I really do believe that. I really believe now it's way more about what I saw professional or the best college players or the best high school players before me, what I saw them do. It's praise. That behavior is praised now. So I'm going to whatever it takes to look the best and to come across the best in the culture we're in now. Way different culture throughout sports and just in general. And I think that's the biggest that's the biggest difference.
I think we try to separate things, and as we get older, we start to do the old man thing where it's different now than it ever was back then. And I think if Gary Payton embarrassed you, he would talk and let you know exactly how much and he would try to make that embarrassing even more by continuing to run his mouth. Kevin Garnett, same way. You're talking about guys in the 90s in our era that we love and think we're unbelievable. And I also heard that maybe one of the worst trash talkers was actually John Stockton. Oh no, hold on. That wasn't no, not trash talking. John Stockton was one of the worst at carrying the ball. I just remember hearing a story. I thought I got my two stories mixed up.
Really?
Yeah,
I've heard guys say he was a dirty player.
I've heard that John Stockton could have got called for a carry 25 times a game.
Wow.
Okay. Dan Patrick can't stand when palming the ball. He can't stand palming the ball. Hates it. And he says he thinks John Stockton's the worst ever at it.
Wow.
He says it's worse than it's ever been now. Ever. Especially since Iverson and all that.
Or maybe he's just doing the old man thing.
A little bit of both. But he goes back and says the worst he's ever seen is John Stockton. So he goes back in time to throw it in there.
Wow.
Whereas, like, for me, I feel like that with the trash talking thing. Like, so everybody loved Gary Payton, and Payton talked trash, but now not everybody loved him. But now if somebody talks trash about something that happens, because we have social media, it blows up a little bit more. I was
just going to say that. I think that's the biggest difference with the culture shift, because I do think it is a cultural thing way more now than it ever was back then, for sure. But social media is the biggest reason for that, because now, and that's what I mean by status. Like, you're getting, it's going viral. Everybody's watching it. It's getting passed around. It's getting liked. It's getting shared, and that's the status thing. So I'm gonna behave. I see people, acting like bozos. So I'm gonna do that while I'm playing, because if I can cross somebody up, make them fall down,
stare at them,
hit the shot, get in their face, push them, all that kind of stuff.
But most of that now, though. Most of the time in those cases, in professional sports, on that specific play, the crossover, the stare, the shot. There's not talking done after that. Most of that time you see that crossover, guy falls, stare, give the glare. You better make the shot. Number one, make the shot, and then you can give a little glare and keep walking back.
In the NBA, in pro, that's the case. It's way worse in high school.
Oh my
it's way
God.
worse.
No,
in
100%.
pickup games.
Pickup's terrible.
Yeah.
We played a game one time. I don't know if you were on this team or not. It was with my buddy Mike and a couple of his buddies. I forgot my shoes. I know I've told this story before. Have I ever told this?
Maybe. You borrowed whose shoes? Mike's?
Mike's got a full size bigger than me foot. So I'm running around in 12s. I'm running around in 12s. Or maybe they're 11 and a half. Maybe it was a half a size bigger. Either way, half a size when you're playing basketball is a big difference. And it felt like they were moving on my feet the whole time. So guys got to break away. I'm about at half court. I'm backing up with him, gets to the 3-point line, crosses me over. I trip on these. I'm going to call them. I say I trip because of the shoes. Probably would have fell anyway. I fall backwards. As I'm falling, I take the ball from him. He's already started laughing. I grab the ball, throw it out for a pass, and he is looking at me, just giving me the business. And I stand up and go, I just stole the ball from you while I was falling. Like, how can you talk trash when I stole it from you? And I'm trying to give it back. At that point in time, I'm just trying to save face because I still feel like, yeah, you crossed me up. I was falling. But if you can't finish, you can't talk.
Nope.
If you don't finish, you can't talk.
That's why you see clips on the internet now of people. You don't see the shot. You don't see anything that happens afterwards. You just see the guy fall down. They slow it down, or they put a skull on the guy because that means he's dead now, or whatever. Or he caught a body and all whatever new language they use to describe that now. So that I know how it sounds, but it's
the truth though.
I do get very old man about that stuff. It really.
But the thing is, so if that's the case, all that being said, you kind of got to give Bryce Harper a hand, right?
No, I don't give him a hand.
I mean, what did he didn't. All he did was look at him as he went by. Just give him a little stare.
Sure.
All that is just remember, don't wake a sleeping giant, all that kind of stuff. Like, but he didn't say anything. He not even when he got interviewed afterwards.
He's okay.
All he said when he got
even better.
He got interviewed and they said and they asked him about it and he said, "Yeah, I did stare at him." That's all he said. That's it.
And that's a great way to handle that. Great way to handle that. Now, you can't say that he didn't say anything. He's saying something by staring at him. That is doing something. But it of course could have been worse. Of course he could have been he could have said whatever he wanted to.
He could have talked while he was running around the bases.
That's what I mean. So yes, he could have handled it way worse. It's fine. What is wrong with Arcia? Hopefully his teammate, somebody from the Braves, got on Arcia about what are you doing? Why would you call a specific guy out just for making an out in the game? That's stupid. That was
especially when he's one of the best players in baseball.
Yeah, that was stupid.
And so I watched a couple of videos from the other day before these home runs happened, and it was just talking about that day in baseball. And they're like, the Braves win on this play, and it is all over the place. Arcia says this. If I'm a guy on his team, I'm grabbing him and telling him, "Are you the biggest idiot that's ever walked the face of the earth?" That's Bryce Harper that you're talking about. He can beat us by himself.
Also, don't do that to anybody, even if they're a bench player on the other team. That's stupid. Why would you? Don't call a guy out for making a
mistake. So stupid. And you know what the best part is? Arcia is 1 for 7 in the series, batting 143 or something like that.
Yeah. So, I mean, okay, it's time to move on from that. Hopefully the Braves win the series.
Here's what I would like to say. Actually, I don't know. I don't know who I want to win the series.
Yeah, I always root for the Braves.
All right. So that being said, Bryce Harper, did you see the video of Bryce Harper on a check swing? Angel Hernandez is at third base and gets asked for the what's that called? Appeal, and says he went. And I'm talking like some of those check swings are very, very difficult.
Oh yeah,
very difficult. This might have been the easiest safe call on a check swing I've ever seen in baseball.
And not even close. Let me rule check with you for a second. from what I understand, the last time I heard this was it's not a break in any plane.
Nope.
It's a judgment call from the umpire whether he feels like he committed to the swing or not.
That is what the call is. It is a like committed to the swing is a perfect way to say it. Making an attempt at the ball, without being too far to get past pulling back, right? So how they feel your attempt was committed to a swing, however you want to say it. Dude, this was not even close. But most umpires will say they're looking at home plate and seeing if the plane breaks, the bat breaks the plane, or if their wrist break. They're looking at the wrist. They're looking at different things, right?
How
so
from
difficult.
How from those bases on the corners can you tell whether the guy breaks a plane on the plate from that angle? How could that even be?
Well, from where they are, you're down the line. That's right in line. I mean, you're looking at an angle and the plate's here. You're seeing that bat come from this way. You're looking directly at that. You got a best look at the plane.
But you mean whether the bat breaks the plane of their eyesight then, right?
I mean, yeah, they're all going to be looking at something different because it's so impossible to say, he committed to that swing or he didn't in that split of a second when you're 80 years old. Call it what it is. Angel Hernandez, it was a terrible call. It is what it is. Bryce Harper we just talked about his antics. He's a very
he's a fiery player.
He's a fiery player, which we love in some people. We love in the guys that aren't very good. Yeah. And we hate in our star players.
It also depends on how you're fired.
Yeah. So this was about as upset as anybody could be. Called many names. Gets kicked out. Walks, throws his helmet in the stands. This is what, 2 weeks ago before the season ended.
Over the netting
into the stands.
It's behind the dugout.
Angel Hernandez. Did we find out how it happened? Did he retire? Did they just not renew his contract? I watched a video of it's the same game. No, of a different game. He missed. It must have been 17 pitches that he called a strike that were not. I'm not even talking not even close. I'm talking not even close. Not just barely off. I'm talking 3 inches. That's too far for a major league umpire. Way too far. Way too far.
There are hundreds of videos on YouTube of Angel Hernandez
being terrible,
pitching. Ball and strike calls, base call, foul, fair foul calls, any kind of call you can imagine, making really, really, really bad calls. He's had a reputation for a long time now of being
probably since 1991.
Since 1991, the first year that he was there, he was an umpire. He's been an umpire that long.
So here's my question for you. How many umpires' names do you know? Joe West, Angel Hernandez. I don't know any other umpires.
Here's the thing. But there are a lot of umpire names that when you hear them, you're like, yes, I know. I know
that's fine. I get that.
You mean off the top of your head?
How many umpires do you know? Like, can you say,
personally,
I know?
None.
Oh, no. Okay. That you know off the top of your head. Like, you don't have to hear their name to know
it. Maybe 3 or something, 3 or 4 maybe.
And are any of them?
Yeah,
I mean, and he's not in baseball anymore either.
Yes, I guess so.
I'm pretty sure he's gone. I could be wrong, but Joe West had his retirement, his sayonara season, which is so weird.
Eric Gregg was another one that if I saw him,
if you saw him,
his name, I would know.
But my whole thing is
for a long time.
Now. Maybe it's if you are an umpire and you're a household name, you're not good. It's just it
probably, yeah.
I mean, you should, as an umpire, no one should remember you. As a referee, no one should remember you. What's his name? Joey Crawford. Mm-hmm. Like, he's known for just teeing everybody up and being crazy about it, right? Like, you don't. That's not what you should be known for.
But I know way more NBA referee names, not because those guys are bad though. Like but even like Joe West and those guys, yes, Joe West especially and Angel Hernandez are famous for
being terrible,
for being bad and being famous. But there are also guys, I think you can know an umpire's name because he's been in it for 30 years and he may have some really bad moments and stuff like that, but overall is a really good umpire, but has like
But you don't you don't know their name. If they're good, you don't know their name. You might know it if you heard it. You might know it if you heard it. But you're not thinking, if you're thinking baseball umpire, you're not thinking of anyone. You're not, somebody says, all right, hey, you ready? All right, here we go. You ready?
Theoretically, it should be that way.
Eric Gregg.
What?
Come on, this is the game we like to play. Let's play it. Eric Gregg.
Dan Iasonia.
Oh, wait, hold on. Are we doing baseball umpires? I don't even know who Dan Iasonia is.
It's your game. You started
baseball umpires.
That's what I thought it was.
Did you do? Is he in a baseball umpire?
Dan Iasonia.
Okay, good. Joe West.
Eric Gregg.
I already said him. Huh? I started it.
Oh, you started with Angel Hernandez.
Okay.
Wow, good memory, Adam.
Yeah. Well, like I said. All right. Here's the deal. If you can name another one, you win.
Oh, so John McSherry.
You suck just because he died.
Okay. See, I know his name, and he wasn't bad. Maybe he was.
Okay.
I don't know.
Well, that's famous for dying in the middle of a field. So I feel like, okay, so either the most traumatic thing that can ever happen in a baseball game happens, or you suck.
CB Buckner.
Never mind. Keep going then. I mean, you know the point I'm trying to make.
I know.
It's always been said, if you, as an umpire, as a referee, if you did a great job, you know you did a great job if people don't remember who you are.
I think it's more like people don't talk about.
Okay, don't talk about you. Whatever, same thing. Like, who was that umped our game? He was so good. So you be honest with you, I don't really remember who he was. If I saw him, I'd remember him, but I don't know. I don't remember his name. I don't remember anything about him because I didn't have to talk to him. No. But that's the point. If I was a referee, I wouldn't want anybody to know who I am. That means I'm good. I would want them to know if they saw me, like, oh, that's that dude. He's really good.
Well, but that's on the people. If you recognize an umpire or an official for being really good, and especially like if you're like say in leagues like we coach in, youth leagues and stuff,
that's different. You're coaching. If you're a coach, your job is to know the umpire and referee's name. My job is to get the umpire's name at the beginning of the game. Make sure all my coaches know it. Don't call him Blue. Call him by his name. Tell the catchers. Make sure you talk to him. His name is this. Introduce yourself. Call him sir. Don't call him Blue. Like I feel like that's part of my job. I want to remember what your name is. If I have a question, I don't want to go, hey Blue, what's the count? I want to say, hey Adam, can you give me that count, buddy? That's our job as a coach. The fans should never know.
What happens if I'm the umpire, you come up to me, hey, how you doing? I'm Chris Witt. I'm like, my name's Adam Schmidt. My nickname, everybody calls me Blue. My nickname before I even started umpiring is Blue.
Okay.
It's Blue Schmidt.
Okay.
So
all right, Blue. Good call. I would call you out.
Really?
100%.
Well, everybody calls me Blue though.
Well, that's good.
It has nothing to do with being an umpire.
My name is Chris. I don't know everybody.
I
don't know everybody.
I used to wear blue eyeshadow every day. So
Blue grandma. Blue. So I would call you Blue umpire then. All right, call you Blue Adam. All right, call you Blue Adam if you wear blue eyeshadow all the time.
Man, I want to be called Blue Adam.
Blue umpire. I did have a guy tell me what his nickname was, and he didn't even introduce himself as his name as Prof. I'm like, Prof. I said, what is that short for? He's like, Professor. Mm-hmm. I was like, yeah. I said, you teacher? He's like, nah, man, it's just what they used to call me. I was like, okay, I'll call you Prof. Never told me what his name was.
Okay. Well,
so I had to sit there all game and say, Prof, I couldn't say how many outs we got. What was that again? Was that a ball or strike? Was that inside, outside? You know, I can't see inside, outside. It looks good from over here. I like to make sure that they know.
Oh yeah, I know you do.
I got me a good one last week. I got me a good one, and I thought I got another one, but I didn't get it. I got an out at first. For sure got the out. I'm yelling out before the call was ever made. He called him out. I thought the kid was safe. I definitely got that one. But then there was a strike 3 for the third out. And I jump out and run out to the line because I always say, come on, let's go, Ami. And the kids come in, run, stand next to me before we go hit when we're on the field. I was almost to the first base line. I was clapping, let's go. And And everybody's looking, and it was a ball. And I look back. He gave me the old head nod, like, "Yep, it was a ball." And I said, "Oh, my bad. It was inside or outside?" And he said, "Inside." I said, "Man, I can't see that." I'm sorry. It looked perfect from here. My bad. My bad. I come sit back down.
Gotcha.
Yep, got no problem with that. I'm not arguing. Not arguing. Not arguing. Just look. I hate when fans are all the way down the sideline and they argue that a ball is a strike or a
I've
ball.
always felt I'm like,
because if it looks right, yeah, sure, it's perfect, letter high or belly high or whatever you want to call it. That doesn't make it a strike.
I know.
You can't see inside or outside from that angle.
How people could complain or say I can't see it.
Yeah, I'd say I'm so ridiculous.
Anyway, all right.
That was terrible.
Yes, Angel Hernandez was released from the umpires union.
Wow,
released.
It's about time.
I mean, it took 32 years.
Yeah, but they really have been getting into grading you and those being part of this over the past 5 to 10 years. And I guarantee that's, I mean, I'm sure they've got a long leash, like, hey, here's your game, here's what you missed, here's what this, that's the other. And after it gets, all right, Angel, you were the third worst umpire in baseball last year. Come on, we got to get better. Next year, Angel, you're the second worst umpire in baseball. It's not getting better, bud. Angel, you've been the worst umpire now for 3 years. This is 5 years you've been in the bottom 3. We cannot sign you back.
That's right.
That's how I feel that went.
I gotta think I know there's a shortage of umpires on like the youth and high school levels for sure, but I imagine any umpire that wants to do that as a job, I'm sure there's always a line to get into Major League Baseball.
Yeah, but if you've been doing it for 30 years, you don't want to go down into the minors.
No, I'm just saying there's got to be guys pushing to get in there.
100%.
Get a guy out that is really bad, even if he's been there for a really long time. Get a young guy in there. Sure, he'll have some growing pains. He's got to learn how to do Major League Baseball, but
he's and
give him a chance.
Absolutely.
I have a question for you.
Ask.
Hypothetically, you are a professional athlete. Say you're a professional baseball player.
Hypothetically.
Right? Well, yeah. Just because I know you.
Hypothetically, right now, I am a professional baseball player.
Right. You come out long before the game. Come out to start your stretch. You're a catcher for the Toronto Blue Jays.
Okay. Starting catcher, backup catcher.
You're starting.
Starting catcher. Okay.
In fact,
Am I a Gold Glove catcher? Am I a Silver Slugger catcher?
You've won a Gold Glove. This is your 4th year in the league. You won a Gold Glove already.
Okay.
And you are like top 3 or 4 hitting catchers in the league.
So I'm probably an all-star.
You're an all-star.
Okay.
You've been an all-star twice now in your first 4 years.
Okay.
You come out and you want to sign some autographs, line of kids along the rail, right?
100%.
You would definitely do that. So you come out, you start signing. You get a few signatures in. Kid hands you a Freddie Freeman jersey, a Freddie Freeman Dodgers jersey.
And I play for the Blue Jays?
You play for the Blue Jays.
Okay.
He's got a Freddie Freeman jersey.
Are we in LA? Are we in LA or are we in Toronto?
We are in LA.
Okay.
Are you signing your name to that jersey?
In LA, probably.
Okay.
I would probably do it if I was in LA.
If you're in Toronto.
If I'm in Toronto and you hand me a Freddie Freeman jersey, I'm going to go, I think you got the wrong jersey, bud. And I'm going to hand it back. And I'm going to ask you, is there anything else you would like me to sign?
Okay.
But I wouldn't not sign something for him. You want me to sign your hat? You want me to sign your shirt?
Somebody gives you a Vladimir Guerrero Jr. jersey, your teammate.
Yeah.
You sign that one?
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't. If you want me to ruin this jersey with my signature, fine. I'll sign that. I don't care. I mean, I feel like that's an odd relic to have.
You've been an all-star more times than he has. So.
That's fine. No, it is what it is. I would 100% sign that, and then I would go back and go, Vlad, I just signed one of your jerseys, bud. I can't wait to see this thing on eBay with my signature on it.
Okay, I wanted to see that. So what brought that was a video of Damian Lillard before their first preseason game, signing in Milwaukee
Uh-huh.
for the first time, coming out signing autographs, which is a good move when you're a new guy in town and everybody's
100%.
excited about it.
Yep.
Coming out and people are giving him Giannis Antetokounmpo jerseys, but people are also giving him, you know, Kevin Durant jerseys, Devin Booker jersey. And no, they weren't playing the Phoenix Suns.
Were there other signatures on it?
Hard to tell. I couldn't tell.
So that's another one too. If somebody's just like, this is my favorite jersey, but I come to a ton of games and I've got 12 names on this jersey. I'm just trying to collect this. Then I would look at that and go, oh yeah, I'll add on to that.
It's still weird to use that as what you're getting the signatures on.
Yeah, I totally agree.
I don't know how I would handle that. It would feel really weird. I wouldn't. It doesn't seem like I would deny somebody if I'm out there to sign.
Yeah.
But also, I would. Yeah, I might look at it like, "Are you sure this is Giannis's jersey?"
I'm gonna have. If I'm the only name on it, I'm gonna have a question for you for sure.
Yeah. So anyway, I thought that was interesting. I noticed that.
Did he sign him? Was he signing him?
He was signing.
Good for him. Man. Good for him. He don't care.
Yeah.
Here, you know what I mean? I'm just making everybody happy in my new place that I'm not going to be at in 2 years.
I'll tell you what, he's ready to meet some. He's going to be on all the same apps that I'm on, but in Milwaukee, because 2 or 3 days after he got traded, he filed for divorce from his wife.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Whoa!
I'm laughing. That's not a good thing. But
you're laughing at the fact that he's going to be on the same apps as you.
Yep.
Y'all gonna have the same pings in common.
If I switch my thing from male looking for folks instead of females, then yeah, I might see him on there.
You might. You don't get to see the guys, do you?
No.
I would love to just laugh at some of those dudes' pictures.
Oh, I'm sure they're.
Oh, dude, can I tell you a story? Can I tell you a story that that happened to me with involving one of these dating apps?
Please.
This involves one of our aunts. Should it be okay? I can say it. I don't care. What do I care?
Wait, you've never been on one, have you?
Oh no. No. It's a story involving. So I'm at my brother-in-law's house. I'm at my in-laws' house. Okay.
Yeah.
There were no dating apps when I got married.
Right.
It was not a thing. I had a flip phone when I got married, or a BlackBerry, one of the two. I might have upgraded to a BlackBerry. So I'm at my brother-in-law's house, and his sister is over there, and she's single, ready to mingle.
Okay.
So she's pulling up one of these apps, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I've heard all about these farmersonly.com and all these I can't remember what it was. It wasn't farmersonly.com, but I can't remember what the name of it was. It was something like that. And she's like, oh my god, she's going like this, and our auntie's ex Chris pops up on there, and at that point in time, it had been fresh act, like they hadn't been brought up for long. And I'm like, oh my god, I had her phone, and I'm like, I'll help you out. Let's do this, man. I'm playing around on it, right? I'm just like, I'm gonna play around on this. I saw that. Oh my god, I was like, this is the craziest thing in the entire world. I know this guy.
What are the chances?
I thought that was absolutely hilarious.
I've seen over many years of being on those things, on every single different one you can think of.
Real Big Fish and
Real Big Fish,
and Fire Tender,
Less Than Jake, and
Less Than Jake.
So I have seen a few people that I've known.
Yeah,
on there. And you're like, well,
you swipe by them.
Obviously not. So.
Oh, really? But, I mean, every time is it obviously not, or sometimes is it? Sometimes is it? Man. Maybe if I wonder if she still remembers me.
No, I shouldn't say. Like, I think I saw my cousin on there once, like something like that.
I'm out. Actually, you know what? I take that back. If I was on that, one of my cousins popped up, I'll swipe it right for sure. For sure. I want her to get a ding on her phone that says, Chris Witt is a match for you. Just to have that conversation. And then I would put a little text in there. Hey, what's up? Good looking, or something like that. I don't know.
I gotcha.
I think that would be funny
for the comedy of it.
I mean, what else would it be for?
Yeah. Well,
I'm not trying to get into any kind of, unless they've got incestfamily.com or something now.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. Wouldn't be surprised.
It's the one you haven't had yet.
That's the only one I haven't been on.
It's in the queue.
I went. It's in the queue. Look at you. Look at
Oh,
you.
jeez.
Okay.
All right.
Here's what and we don't have to do this depending on what time it
Are
is.
you going to give me the app to swipe right and left right now?
No.
Oh, bummer. I was going to have some fun on
We
here.
can do that sometime. But
we need to do that sometime.
okay. But what I have here is we were just talking about jersey, signing another guy's jersey. The top from opening day to the last day of the Major League Baseball season.
Okay.
The top 20 selling jerseys in Major League Baseball during the season.
This is so tough.
Just see how many you can name.
Top 20. I'm going to put De La Cruz on there.
Ooh, interesting. He's number 16.
Okay, got one. I'm trying to think of guys to a fresh new team. I feel like that's always big. Did I hear something about this already? Is Joey Votto on there?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought I heard something
Which
about
was
that.
surprising to me.
Yeah,
yes,
that's very surprising.
he's
So,
number 13.
wow. So
13th most sold
jersey. So Joey Votto, Ellie De La Cruz, and then you've got to go with Mike Trout. Shohei Ohtani's got to be number one.
Shohei Ohtani's number 1.
Aaron Judge.
Mike Trout's 10. Aaron Judge is 3.
Okay. I'm gonna go Bryce Harper.
Bryce Harper is not on the list.
Man, Fernando Tatis Jr.
Yes, he is number 4.
Juan Soto.
He should be on here, but he's not.
Man, I'm off. I missed 2 so far. I'm gonna go with a Ronald Acuna Jr.
That's number 2.
You know what? Let's go Freddie Freeman.
Number 11.
Okay. About Vlad Guerrero Jr.
Number 15.
Okay, we're doing pretty well here. I feel like I have to have had at least 10 by now. Do I have half of them?
Yeah, I would say.
Probably,
yeah.
Come on, Chris.
Probably about 10.
You know who I would get? You know me. You know my thing. I will not buy a jersey of someone that's younger than me.
Okay.
I won't wear one. At least won't wear one. I might buy it, but I'm not wearing it. Yeah. I would get a JT Realmuto jersey.
Oh, JT Realmuto
is the best catcher in baseball for the last 5 years.
But he's younger than you.
No, I'm not wearing it. I'm just buying it.
Okay. He's not on the list.
Darn it. Okay. I should have known. That was stupid. That was a dumb guess. Okay. Let's sit back here. Give me just a second.
Number 20 is a catcher. For a little hint.
Okay.
It's not doesn't make it that easy, but
no, it doesn't. That's okay though. That's a help. That's a helpful hint. What about that kid for Florida? Arcia, not Arcia. The kid for the Marlins that was hitting 400. No, he's not going to be.
Oh no, it's not.
I took it away from it. Did I say Ozzie Albies?
You did not, but he's number 18.
Nice. Okay, Albies. Come on, man. Who's in there? We said Shohei. We said Trout. Come on, who's the big guys out there?
Stick with your idea of new teams. A guy that was one of the biggest reasons for the Rangers turnaround.
I don't know. Help, tell me.
Corey Seager. Had an incredible year.
What about Turner for Phillies?
No.
That was a new team too. That was the biggest signing of the offseason.
Yeah.
I thought Trey Turner would be on there. All right, give me the rest. I've taken too long. Give me the rest.
Number 5 is Mookie Betts.
Oh my God, that's one of my son's favorite players.
Yeah. Number 6 is Jose Altuve.
That's an easy one.
Julio Rodriguez, Mariners.
J-Rod, I love him. What about Alvarez for Houston? No, he's not going to be on there.
Nope. Nope. You got Matt Olson, Braves. Alex Bregman, Astros. Austin Riley's on there.
I was going to say Austin Riley.
Yep. Manny Machado.
Wow, Manny, good for him.
Number 19 is Francisco Lindor. And number 20 is Adley Rutschman.
I never would have got that. Adley Rutschman sold more jerseys than JT Realmuto. The United States or wherever these jerseys are being sold don't understand.
Everybody's already got it. JT Realmuto has been around a long time.
Yeah, but they don't have him with a Phillies jersey.
He's been with the Phillies for 5 years.
No way.
Yeah.
No chance he's been with the Phillies that long.
All right, here we
He
go.
was with the Braves. No, was it the Braves?
JT Realmuto?
Yeah.
No.
Oh no, he was with the Marlins.
Let's see.
He just signed that contract like 2 years ago. And Mookie Betts been with the Dodgers for 5 years, and he's on there.
How come his baseball
reference
doesn't come right up?
Because
here it is. Yes, it does. Okay. He has been with the Phillies for
darn it.
19, 20, 21, 22, 23. He's been 5 years.
On it. Son of a gun.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
That was fun.
That was fun.
Mount
Rushmore of best looking coaches or managers.
Yes.
They have to be current managers or coaches, head coaches in one of the 3 major baseball, basketball, football, professional sports.
Yes.
So we really narrowed it down a lot, because if you added college and all that,
you could get really crazy with this for sure.
Yeah. Okay. Would you like to go first?
No, I want you to go first.
Starting it off, Los Angeles Rams head coach Sean McVay. Sean McVay is a nice looking fella. You got him on there. I
Yep.
mean, there's no. It's not even a personal preference thing.
No.
I think he's just.
I think Sean McVay is just a generally good-looking human being.
He's got perfect hair every time he does the specific spike thing.
Yep.
But he's still a young guy, and he's a good-looking fella. I'm going. I think this is going to be a kind of a reach here, because there were like 4 or 5 other guys that I considered. I'm going to go Kevin Stefanski.
Ooh, okay. That's a good one. I have him written on the notables.
There are so looking at some of these things, there are a few pictures of him where you're like, oh
yeah, and then there's some where like, okay, I get it.
He's got a really nice salt and pepper beard.
That's the thing, though. I think the salt and pepper beard in the right way looks good, but the wrong, let it get a little too long and he gets a little scruffy.
Yeah. So I'm going to go him. Ime Udoka, famously removed from his job with the Celtics
because he was too good looking.
To stay with Nia Long, one of the prettiest ladies in the world. And then I'm going Skip Schumacher. Florida Marlins, Miami Marlins, skipper. And
I like that skipper.
Former Cardinal. He beat up on the Reds a bunch, and we've known him for a long time.
So I love that. That's a good one. I've got Skip Schumacher in with my possibles for my last one. Mike Vrabel. He's a good looking dude, man.
Thought about right.
Mike Vrabel's a good looking dude. Let's see. There was another one on here. Oh, it's not there. Okay. So Kyle Shanahan, not bad. Good. The NFL's got some good looking cats out there, bro.
Bunch of young guys now.
I have Sean McVay. I've got Matt LaFleur. Golden for Green Bay. Good looking fella.
Yep.
Gabe Kapler is on mine.
So Gabe Kapler was my number 1.
Too good looking?
He was relieved of his duties.
What? How? When?
Last day of the season, 2 weeks ago or whatever.
Oh, son of a gun! So I gotta take him off.
You can put him on.
No, that's fine. That puts Skip Schumacher on mine then. Okay. That puts Skip Schumacher on mine, and Nick Sirianni, Kyle Shanahan, Mike Vrabel. I'm going Mike Vrabel. So I'm gonna go Matt LaFleur, Sean McVay, Skip Schumacher, and Mike Vrabel.
3 footballs in a baseball.
I could have gone more baseball, but I didn't want to seem like a homer.
I got to tell you, I wanted to go more basketball. I feel you.
Thought in basketball. They're just, they're big, tall, and they're not all of them are tall, but I mean, like most of the like here's one of the I've looked at a couple of these lists, right? One of them had Dusty Baker as number 3.
as most attractive man.
Yeah, it was on 2 different lists. He was in the top 5.
I mean,
Dusty Baker.
You sure it wasn't oldest man?
No, because it was like Skip Schumacher, Gabe Kapler, and then Dusty Baker.
If you look at a picture of Dusty Baker when he was 25, maybe he was outstanding looking, but the man is 70 years old now, something like that.
Yes.
I mean,
he's over 70. When they won it, he was 70.
Sheesh. Okay. Well, I only wrote down one other. There are a couple other basketball guys that maybe I wrote down Monty Williams as a possibility.
Yeah, sure. I like little Monty Williams.
Not bad. Yeah. But really not a lot of basketball. I wrote down one possibility for
Steve
a coach.
Kerr. Steve Kerr's not a bad looking dude.
Yeah. WNBA. I was like, oh, I've got to find. That's where all the ladies coach. I wrote down one.
I knew where you were going with that, and I looked at it and I was like, nah, I'm good. This is nope, not what we thought.
First of all, I mean, out of the
better
12,
looking men than there are women. That's for sure.
Out of the there are only 12 teams in the WNBA, and
there's only 12 teams in the WNBA.
Yeah, 5 of them have men as head coaches. Yeah. Not that obviously doesn't eliminate them from the list, but yeah, I mean, there was the Indiana Fever's head coach isn't too bad, Christy Sides, but besides that, there are a couple that are like, yeah, but okay. Anyway, and there are several football coaches and stuff like that where you're like, what, in the right lighting and the right angle and stuff like that.
What's the crazy lady for LSU? She was Baylor's head coach and then went to LSU. Always wears the craziest get up on all the time. She's got like 6-inch heels and she's stomping around the court and she's like 60 years old. She always cracks me up.
Yeah.
I feel like she was probably good looking back in the day.
Kim
Mulvaney? No, that's not it. Definitely not.
Kim Mulkey, I think.
Mulkey. Anyway.
Okay. That's our Mount Rushmore.
There it is.
Best looking coaches / managers. What do we have left?
All right, so Luenell. We've got Luenell, right? Town business. Before we get into this, so it's only half an hour, which surprised me. Supposed to watch it last week. I didn't, obviously. So it's only half an hour, and it starts off by her saying she's about to go on a tangent for the next 20 minutes about airplane travel and all the ding-dongs that travel on an airplane. So first off, I love that because I will be flying to Washington on Monday, the state of Washington on Monday, flying back on Thursday next week. So there won't be a podcast next week. I loved it. I think I might have gave this a higher grade than I probably should have, just because I was cracking up thinking about what's about to happen on the plane. I know I've told this story a million times. I have been on a plane in mid-conversation with a fella. We were going to Washington. It's a few years back. We're going to Washington. Have I told this story too?
I don't remember it.
Okay, we're flying to Washington. I got a customer with me. This is how much I hate planes. Nothing to do with all the stuff she hates as the unofficial air marshal or whatever she is. I'm flying out to Washington. This is probably 4 years ago. And the guy one of the customers is coming with me. He's right on the other side of the aisle. We both have an aisle seat just opposite of the aisle from each other. He's talking to me and I'm talking to him, and I get nauseous real easy. Okay. And this is in the morning flight. And he's talking to me and he's talking to me. And I always make sure before we fly that I've got a doggy bag in a little front pouch. Always make sure. And I look down in there and it's there. And I'm like, thank God. And I'm sitting there, I'm talking. He's talking. I pull this bag out. He never stops this conversation. I hack into this doggy bag, roll it up, put it back in that little pouch. And he never stops talking. He actually reaches in, grabs his while he's still talking to me, and hands it over to me in case I need another one. It's like one of my funniest things that's ever happened to me on an airplane.
I do remember that story now, but I'm glad you told it again because I forgot about that.
So she goes crazy about this stuff. I'm going to tell you right now, my biggest pet peeve on an airplane, you've flown a few times. My biggest pet peeve on an airplane is when the plane lands and everyone stands up like they're ready to get off, and they're standing in the middle of the aisle. We all leave from the front to the back. You ain't getting off any faster. In fact, I stay sitting down when the person behind me gets in the aisle because you're not going past me. I make sure when it's my turn to get there, I stand up and jump out in front. I usually never put something over top, but if I got something over top, I take my damn time. Take my time. I could get this a lot easier if you weren't on top of me right now, mister. That's just, I don't understand that.
I feel like that might be the number one complaint of people that fly a lot that I've heard.
But it's like half the plane does it.
Yeah, because a lot of people don't fly much, and so I think they just don't. I think there's a lot of etiquette that you could apply to flying.
It's everyday life etiquette, front to back, man. When it's your turn to go, you go. You don't just run into the middle and start. It's not a stampede.
Yeah, I think people are just like, well, I want to be ready when it's time to go, so I'm just going to get my bag down now. But yes, it does kind of crowd the thing, and then you end up standing right like next to a person that's still sitting down and that kind of thing.
So annoying.
I think people that do that just want to be ready so that they're not holding anybody up behind them, but also you are causing other issues too. So
yeah. All right. So anyway, go ahead. Yeah. Let's talk about Luenell. I think she was hiring a kite because until she started talking about watching people walk by, I don't think she opened her eyes the entire set.
Yeah, well, I was going to ask you that. Did she? Because
I don't know.
It was hard to tell because she had the real long eyelashes, and it was hard to tell. It did look like she had closed a lot
until she started walking, acting like she's watching people walk by her. Until then, where she had her eyes wide open looking at people. Until then, I was like, I don't think she's opened her eyes yet. I think her eyes have been closed this whole time.
I think she could see. I think it's one of those things, I think some people just have that where it just looks like they're, like their eyes are closed, but they can still see. So I really liked and like you said, airline stuff, a comedian talking about flying, traveling. Oh, what else could possibly be said by a comedian? There's no way you can come up with new stuff. Guess what?
She did.
She did a really good job of it. I mean, she did, just the way that she explained everything, the way that I'll tell you the number one thing that, first of all, I really liked this special. And I'll be honest, I was surprised because the last few times I've seen sets of hers, I didn't think it was that
She
good.
seems like she can bunch things up and get off and lose you.
This seemed polished. This seemed it seemed like she'd been working on this material for a long time. She found the right words.
Yep.
The right way to explain everything.
Timing. She would like when she was acting like she didn't know what to say and then just said a word. I love that. When you're acting like you don't know exactly how to explain something and then you say the funniest thing right there in that moment. She did that like 4 or 5 times.
Yeah. Yes. The way she worded everything really stuck out to me because she found the funniest ways to make her jokes, whether it was shorter stuff, mostly it was like longer form stuff that all, kind of flowed into each other. She did a good job of that too. Yep. But yeah, almost all the airline stuff was really good. Let's see. Her closer was really good. I mostly just wrote.
Did you like the closer?
I kind of did.
I thought the closer was the one where I was like, man, this last minute I thought was going to end a different way, but it was it didn't end the way I thought. It was just
maybe that's what I don't know. Maybe
on the couch, on the floor, with clothes on, clothes off. She's on, she's on, she's on, she's on.
I think it was because it was pretty long and she did it, in a rhythm, and it kind of reminded me a little bit of. Now I'm definitely not comparing the two, but reminded me a little bit of like a George Carlin kind of thing. Like he did a lot of that stuff, and it was even if it wasn't the funniest thing, it was just so the performance of that was so impressive.
I'll give you that.
Maybe that's what I liked about it. But anyway,
Fatty's about to break a chair over here, bud.
I was like, was that in my?
No, that was the chair on its last leg. We have to retire this song gun right here, bud. I'll tell you what.
I really did I gave her 4.2.
So I gave her a 3.7.
Oh, wow.
I liked it. I thought that was a good number until you just said 4.2. I feel like that's a really good, fair number. I still don't think. I think she's definitely. I'm with you. This was more polished than a lot of her stuff, but I still don't feel like it was all there. Like she was still. It's a lot. Like just her. Sometimes she mumbles and I don't know. I don't know. I loved it. I say that, but not because now my 3.7 sounds like I'm dogging her. But that was great. I thought it was an awesome. I thought it was great.
Maybe I let the surprise of how much
That's
better
okay.
it was.
No, it's okay to like it. Stick with your gut, man. Stick with your gut. I'm sticking with my gut. I was good. You said 4.2, and all of a sudden my 3.7 in my head was going to 3.9, but I kept it at 3.7.
Good for you.
I kept it there. Not letting you change the trajectory of Luenell's career. Although it was kind of funny when I did like the one where she was like, just know now in my career that if I got here, it's flying first class. She was like, I got sick and tired walking by all my friends. Hey, DL. Hey, said. Oh, yeah, this is me, 36C. Like, how come all my friends, I'm doing the same show he is? I ain't talk to my manager. I thought that was all funny. I thought that was
those guys have been funny for 25 years. You've been funny for 1 year now.
But did you see the pictures at the end? She was in her 20s on stage. She's 70 years old. She's been doing it for 50 years.
She's been doing it for a long time.
I mean, not 50, but I bet she's been doing it for 30 years.
I didn't even know who she was until
she's been in a couple things. She's been like
Borat.
You were telling me Borat. Yeah, that's right. She was in Borat.
I think that was the first time.
Wasn't she like a grandma or a mom in some sitcom for a minute?
Probably.
Maybe.
Yeah, probably.
I don't know.
Some sitcom on the WB or whatever. Or UPN or whatever.
Man.
Or NBC. You didn't let me finish. And it could have been NBC. It could have been WKRC. It could have been Fox. Jeez, ESPN, Disney. I don't know.
It was on something. It was on HBO.
We got those are fine networks. What are you laughing about?
It was on BET. I'll take it to the furthest extent. Don't worry. Subtle. It's subtle. It should have been subtle. I should have been.
It was on BET?
That was yours. No, yours were subtle.
It was on BET?
Bet. What is that? Can we just do this real quick?
Yeah.
Why is bet the new thing to say?
I think it's not new.
How long have you been hearing people say bet?
I mean,
what's a long time?
10 years, something like that.
10 years people been saying bet?
I think so, yeah.
I get sick and tired of it. Now when I hear people say, I bet, I'll be like, how much? Like what?
I thought it like took its thing and was back down.
You think it's going down? See, I'm so old. I don't even know where the trajectory of sayings are anymore.
I don't know.
I'm gonna be like Luenell and bring back some old sayings.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stomp a mud hole in her face or whatever she said. I'm gonna stare a mud hole in her ear. That was good.
Yeah.
She likes.
That's the other one of the big pet peeves that I hear people talk about sometimes. You know, I listen and watch all the comedy podcast stuff, and those guys travel every week, so they're on planes all the time, and they have their pet peeves about that stuff. I feels like way more people say, don't put the shade up, especially if it's like in the morning or the sun's coming in. Shade down. It's don't blind other people with the sun. Or she was the opposite. She
wants it up.
Yeah,
she wants it up.
I feel like it sounds to me like most people prefer it down. She wanted it up, and she was. That was the thing. Like that lady was in the window seat. Yeah. And Luenell, for some reason,
she
felt
specifically said she doesn't sit in the window seat.
Right. But for some reason, it's Luenell's
not just that one, but she gets that whole row. She's the unofficial U.S. Air Marshal.
Yeah.
She crosses the aisle and goes to the other window on the other side.
I think she was wrong about that, about the whole window shade thing. You can prefer it up or whatever, but if you aren't there, you have a conversation, and you can't just assume that you get your way. I mean,
you
crazy.
think that was a real story? You think that actually happened?
I did. I did think.
Did you?
Was, yeah.
No, I think that was
she made it up.
I think that was a drawn out, made up story. Yeah.
I mean,
I think she thought it in her head. It may have asked, and who knows what happened after that. but that all did not happen.
I'm sure she embellished parts of it. Yeah. Or maybe all of it. Who knows? Maybe she just made it up. But yeah, no, I guess I just thought she was being serious.
I immediately thought that. I mean, she obviously wasn't. I could see her,
She wasn't being serious.
being upset, and if the lady said no, but I don't think there was. I don't think it was as nearly as crazy as she made it out to be.
Yeah. Or she said something like, can you put the shade back up? And the lady said, why? And she stopped and looked, and you heard people, like, what do you mean? She just said, why?
She just asked you why you wanted it up.
Yeah. Like, all right,
so she could see something coming at us. What are you gonna do about it? If something's, I mean, I wouldn't say any of that. If somebody was like, "Hey, do you mind putting that up?" I'd be like, "Yeah, absolutely, no problem." Yeah. That would be what I would say.
I can go either way. I don't care.
Yeah, doesn't matter to me.
Yeah,
and I don't care what seat I'm in.
Yeah, I don't want to be in the middle seat for sure.
I mean, I don't want to, but I don't care.
Yeah,
I'm sleeping anyway, and
I don't think I could ever sleep on a plane.
So here's my thing.
Way too nice.
I try to sleep on a plane. I don't think I ever fully fall asleep, but like I'll be in and out. Like I was asleep for about 40 seconds. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I don't think I've ever slept on a plane.
Okay. I think I've felt like I was doing this and I'm fighting it and stuff.
I try like crazy to.
I try to stay awake.
I try to go to sleep because I get nauseous as a son of a gun.
Also, I don't want to.
I need Dramamine.
Do you? Yeah. I don't really get sick, but I just get really nervous. I also don't want anybody to see me either like this for a long time,
or possibly snore or anything. Yeah.
Or like that business.
So that's why I don't like the middle seat, but I got no problem. I can curl up anywhere, dude. I get me right here. Just
even middle seat.
I figure it out.
You're gonna put your head on somebody.
I hope they know me.
If you got a big old cozy guy next to you, you're gonna put your head on that pillow.
That reminds me, she had another joke in there where she was like, I don't want to talk to you the whole time, but you better say hello, be courteous. When I'm walking in and I'm sitting on a plane, I'm saying, hey, how we doing? I'm gonna say hello to both people sitting next to my ass.
Yeah. That's the other thing too. I feel like I've heard people say different, like I think most of the comedians are like, don't want to deal with that stuff anymore. But like that's the other thing too. Like especially like
if you're stepping over someone, look at them and say hello.
Sure.
I think that's all she wanted. That's it. She didn't want a conversation. She didn't want to see pictures of your dog.
How about this? You are an attractive woman. You're a young, attractive woman.
Okay.
You're flying somewhere by yourself, and you are constantly dealing with people staring at you, people approaching you, people trying to hit on you.
I mean, sounds like my life every day.
Well, yes. You're an attractive young woman, or you're you. And I know you do.
I enjoy the attention.
That's cool. but I walk into the aisle and you're right there. Number one, party in my head right now.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Thank God.
Yeah. But number two, if I like, are you? If
you're already nervous. You're already nervous.
I'm already nervous.
This is make believe woman.
I'm trying to think of it if I want to say this from my perspective or from her perspective. But from her perspective, am I just like head down, not looking at the person? Because especially if you glance up and it's a person and they look at you and you feel like they kind of notice you or something like that, or it's a guy somewhere within some kind of age range where it would make sense. Are you just like avoiding that the whole time and you don't want to be bothered because you're just going to expect the worst, or you're just going to expect them to try to talk to you for a certain reason? Or are you going to be like, I'm sitting right next to you. You're not even going to say, I don't want to talk to you, but you're not even going to say hello.
Well, here's the deal.
Now from my perspective, how do I know what to do?
No, I think Luenell just told us. I feel like Luenell just told us.
Just say hi.
If someone's in the aisle seat, if Luenell's in the aisle seat, and I'm walking up and I'm sitting right next to her. I'm saying, "Excuse me, girl. I think I got that seat right next to you. Sorry." And then she'll say, "Oh, okay." So I'll sit down. I'll be like, "Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it." Boom. It balls in her court. You look for me. You want to talk? I don't care if you are 24 and gorgeous or
Luenell.
8 or Luenell. Yes, or Luenell. I'm gonna talk you. I'll talk you up. I got no problem chatting. Let's go. I'll chat you up all day. But on a plane, I would never just start talking to a person. Now, if they started talking to me, game on, bud. We're gonna be talking. That's although I have got myself into situations where it's funny and there's like a funny joke that's said or something between you and you kind of like the other guy and you're like, hey, yeah, okay, okay, good. And it's like, oh God, I don't want to do this for the next 2.5, 3 hours. Like, how far do I take this? How far is this guy going to take it? So I feel like just the, hey, how you doing? Or excuse me. Oops, sorry. Hey, so thank you so much. I appreciate that. Sorry about that. I feel like I just, boom, right there. That's it. That's all it's got to be. Yeah. So,
yeah.
And if they want to say, hey, how you doing? I'm Chris. I'll be like, hey, how you doing? I'm Jerry.
Yeah, we do for a living.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't need all that.
For now on, when I go on planes, if somebody asks me what I do for a living, I'm going to tell them I make microphones.
Oh.
Yeah.
I make bombs for airplanes.
Jesus Christ. Don't say that. No, I gotta find something.
I make airplane bombs.
What do I want to be? What do I want to be? What do I want to be?
Latex salesman.
Yeah. What do you import and export?
Yeah. What do you want to be? You can be anything you want in the world.
100%.
What's his name on Fight Club? He made soap or whatever, right?
Is that why there's is that why there's soap on that?
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah,
it's been so long since I watched that.
I think he used that to make bombs too.
He made bombs?
Yeah.
The guy in Fight Club made bombs?
Yeah, that's how his.
Which one, Brad Pitt or the other guy?
Same guy.
What?
Yeah.
Spoiler alert!
You ever seen The Sixth Sense?
Don't even tell me he's dead. Don't do it. Don't tell me Bruce Willis is dead the whole time.
I won't tell you.
He's at dinner with his wife.
Yeah. You'd think so.
You know what I've never done? Gone back to watch The Sixth Sense just to see, knowing and going,
yeah.
How do they play that?
I never have. I've seen it one time.
I've only seen it once too. Yeah. And that little kid gets beat up by the ghost in the locker upstairs or whatever that was. Yeah. That was the worst moment of my entire life.
Yeah, that's why I won't watch it again anyway. There's enough scary in it.
I want that. No, I'm good. Yeah. I'm good. No. I don't like any of that.
Yeah.
Just had this conversation the other day. My son went to a haunted house last weekend.
Nope, never.
So a bunch of kids on a baseball team are going to a haunted house. Parker is at that age like I was. I would go to a haunted house when I was his age, right? Where it's like, I don't know if I want to go. I'm really nervous. He's super nervous. I'm like, dude, you do whatever you want. He goes, Dad, will you go with me if we go? And I said, here's the deal, bub. I don't want to. But for you, I would. He immediately says, is Jared going? Which is another dad. And I said, he is. And if he's not, I'm going to call him and tell him that he is. And he goes, okay, I think I would do that. And I was like, that's all I needed to hear. I'm out. I don't have to go.
Okay, so as long as that dad went, he was good.
Yeah, so they go, and he had a blast. He loved it. Okay. And they all had fun and all that. And the whole time I was telling everybody stories about, I don't like anything. I'm scared. Most of it's just being startled.
Yeah.
I hate that more than anything. I hate knowing if when I turn that corner, something's going to jump at me. I hate that. That is not a fun feeling. Right. There's zero fun about that at all. I don't like watching scary movies because I know something's going to jump out at me. I know it's fake. I don't like that. Mm-hmm. At the same time, when I'm out of town, I sleep with the lights on.
Yeah.
100%. And we were there. New people that new couple was there that I've only met a couple times, but they don't know me that way. Like the baseball team knows me. The baseball team knows that if you walk up and knock on my hotel door at 10 o'clock at night, I'm going to be butt naked in the light. I mean, it is what it is.
I'm going to be butt naked and scared.
Butt naked and scared. Exactly. That's exactly right. So, anyway, I'm telling them I didn't get into the sleeping, being butt naked for as long as I can because that's my favorite thing to do is just be naked in a hotel room. I did tell them though that I was like, yeah, sleep with the light on. I sleep with the light on. They're like, how do you sleep? I was like, I close my eyes and I go to sleep. I've been doing it since I was a kid. I always had a light on. I lived in the attic. The lights were always on up there. All of them were on all the time. They never turned off. I don't know if the light never turned off at my house when I was a kid. Yeah, I slept with the light on, so I could sleep right now. There's nowhere I could not sleep. I gotta have pitch black this and that. Man, y'all crazy. You all are crazy. So this crazy, not crazy. She's a super nice Irish lady. Was like, she thought it was the weirdest thing in the world that I slept with the lights on when I was out of town.
Well, tell her your cousin does that too. It's not that weird.
I was like, I do this thing too. I walk down the hallway while I'm there. It could be, if it's late at night and I'm the only one in the hallway in the hotel walking down, and I'll talk to myself and I'm like, I know you're back there. It's okay. I just want to see you. Let me know. I'm turning around. Here we go. And I'll turn around. Damn thing's not there. So it became a big fight of, do you believe in ghosts? No. Well, if you don't believe in ghosts, why you sleep with the light on? Because I'm scared of ghosts. I don't believe in them, but there's a chance they could be there. Guess what I just found out? Aliens are real. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not messing with this. And it was him. It was Cody, our guest. Cody Rack was talking to me about it. I'm like, dude, I just found out aliens are real. Are you kidding me? Anything is possible right now. I'm scared of all of it.
That's right. Yeah. I'm so the same. Everything you just said is exactly how I feel.
I don't believe in ghosts, but I'm scared to death of them. Yes. Yeah. What if they are there? Just because I don't believe in them doesn't mean they're not there.
And I'm so mad at every single person that has ever told me a story about them seeing a ghost at their house or somebody else's. Don't even tell me a story.
No, yeah. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it either. Because I'm not gonna believe anything you said.
I'm not gonna believe it.
That was my other reason.
Also, still gonna be scared.
Yeah, that was my other reason. Was, well, if I go to sleep with the lights on and I wake up in the middle of the night, I see everything. If I go to sleep with the lights off and I wake up in the middle of the night and there's a shadow over there, now I'm freaked out and I gotta go find a light. Nah, for the light's already on, I'm good. Guess what? Happens every time. I wake up, nothing there. Hey, I'm 100%, bro. I'm keeping that streak going.
Yep.
Keeping that streak going.
Why wouldn't you?
If I lived by myself like you, I need more than a nightlight, bud.
I got myself a lamp on the old nightstand.
Oh, yeah. And on every once in a while. Now, when I'm at home, lights are out. Whether Aaron's in bed or not. Like, if Aaron falls asleep on the couch, I go upstairs, all the lights are out.
But you got the family in the house. You're not alone.
Yeah. And I got my baseball bat. So
that's right.
We're good to go.
That's right. I got my baseball bat too, but that's not enough. Because that swings right through.
Swipe through. Yeah. Will it though? I feel like it would still hurt. Yeah. So if a ghost can touch something and move it, how come I can't touch it?
It can also go through walls.
Have you ever seen one go through a wall?
I've seen movies.
Yeah, I hate
You ever
movies.
seen Casper?
But he was friendly.
Still.
Yeah.
He had his uncles or friends or whatever it was.
They could do all kinds of stuff and move things, but you can't touch them.
Yeah.
I feel like there should be a spray.
There should, like a bear spray.
Yeah.
Ghost spray. Ghoul spray.
Ghoul spray. Speaking of.
Man, I think we just made a product.
Yeah, I think we did. I don't know what it's going to be. Maybe just water.
It's water in an aerosol can. Yeah, it says Ghoul spray on it. If you get scared, you just spray it in the air a little bit.
Yeah. There you go.
It's a placebo.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Just for the mind.
Just like the light. It's just for my mind.
That.
Yeah,
I love that.
Yeah, I'll get you some Ghoul spray, bro. I'll put a nice, cool label on it and everything.
We're doing a lot of marketing stuff in school. I'm like, if I have to come up as part of an assignment or something with my own
some Ghoul spray,
I'm doing Ghoul spray, dude.
100%. When this happens, I want to see your presentation.
I'm gonna, whatever it is, if it's a paper or whatever, I'm gonna send it to you.
My favorite presentation I ever did in school was a how-to presentation. And I did How a Bill Becomes a Law. And all I did for my presentation was play the movie.
Schoolhouse Rock.
I did not do well in the class. I did not do well. He was not thrilled when I played. We had to have like a 5-minute thing, and I played the full. It was like exactly 5 minutes, and it was I'm just a bill sitting, and I just stood there. I mean,
you should have got the transcript and just
read it.
Just plain.
I'm just a bill. I'm just a bill sitting here on Capitol Hill. That would have been good. Anyway, we got to figure this out. All right. So, what is next week's Who's got what? What do we got? I probably owe both. Be my guess.
Well, Luenell was yours.
Okay.
So I'll do comedy.
Okay, and then I'll do.
Oh
no, it's
well,
okay.
We can do
no,
whichever one.
I'm doing. What's it called?
Mount
Rushmore again. I'll do another Mount Rushmore.
Okay. That's tough. That's tough. 2 Mount Rushmores in a row.
It's okay. It's okay. I deserve it for not watching Luenell, and I've got 2 weeks to watch this comedy special.
All right, I'm going. I mean, there are still so many.
Yeah, it's a lot. There's a lot. We've missed a lot, and they feel like they're old now.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. So we still have a bunch of those 30 minutes with from Gas Digital that put those out. We watched one of them, I think, one or two of them. So you know what? I think that's what I'm going to go with. Jordan Jensen has a 30-minute on YouTube. Jordan Jensen. She's a New York comic, and she does a pretty fairly popular podcast now with Ian Fidance, another comic. So anyway, she has 30 minutes with Jordan Jensen on YouTube, presented by Gas Digital.
I like it. Have we ever done the Mount Rushmore of baseball card companies?
I'm gonna say no.
Playing card companies, not playing card. Collectors cards, however you would call it.
I'll say no.
All right, let's do it.
Let's do it. Mount Rushmore of card companies. Collectors card companies or whatever.
Yeah,
collector's choice. That's awesome. You know we're gonna love that when we talk baseball cards or wrestling or something like
things
that.
get crazy.
Oh man, those are so fun.
Yes.
All right, good.
Yes.
Good. All right, Jordan Jensen, Mount Rushmore of card companies, creators, whatever.
Sure. I like it. We gotta be careful now. How does this work? Because like you have, like Stadium Club was made by Leaf. So and then you had Leaf.
Yeah. By the way,
Upper Deck does the same thing.
Anything special in any of those packs?
No, not really. I mean, just the regulars. I mean, a couple Patrick Ewings and some stuff. You know, some great cards.
Good. If you got a Patrick,
I did get it. I did get a Patrick Ewing, which makes that made my day.
Nice.
That made my day. That's all I needed. It made my day. I think I put it in hard plastic. I was sitting there with Parker. Baby. I had the hard plastics out. We did get a Jordan I put in there, but it wasn't worth much. But I got a Jordan too. So he saw Jordan and got excited. So we had to put a couple of them in hard plastic. Exactly. It's exactly right. It's exactly right. So no, yeah, it was a ton of fun. We had a great time. Had an awesome time.
Awesome. I say we go. Yeah, if it's if
like Stadium Club would be its own. Leaf, like the actual branded pack of cards.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Let's say that. Yep.
Okay.
All right. I'm excited. 2 weeks from now.
2 weeks from now. We'll not be here next week. Plenty of time to think about it.
Yes, sir.
So I'll probably do it the day before.
Me too.
Okay. That being said, Adam, don't forget to turn your headlights on.